What do I think about the Gryphon DAC, the Kalliope? 25,000 euros in your country in comparison to other DACs at the same price point. So I never said this, but I'll say it now. I do have the Gryphon DAC in here right now. The Kalliope is in here. It's actually listed on my website, jaysaudiolab.com. So this DAC came out in like 2017, I want to say. So it's about seven years old. Surprisingly, the Gryphon Kalliope DAC, believe it or not, held its own with other DACs that I have here in the lab right now. I know that we're always looking for the latest and greatest digital component. I know that I said this on the last live stream, to always go after the latest and most current digital technology that you can afford. And I stand behind it. However, that doesn't mean that older offerings, in this case, the Gryphon Kalliope, are bad choices. No, actually, they're great value because you buy them depreciated for a hell of a lot less money. And I dare to say that you probably couldn't find a current product to perform at the same level as a depreciated DAC that was far more money in the past. What I liked about the Gryphon DAC is, of course, it's got a lot of synergy with Gryphon Electronics, my Apex behind and my Commander behind. So there was a lot of beautiful things that happened. Great soundstage, good bass, great definition. And it's a DAC that worked every time. It had no hiccups, good build quality, great remote control. I remember actually one of the things that I like about the Gryphon Kalliope DAC is the remote control itself allows you to change the polarity. Do I recommend it? I think I do recommend it when you consider the price it can be bought for today. Okay. Now, if you are going to pay $25,000, let's say that's what you're looking to do, I would say I'd look at other offerings that are more current because things have changed since 2017 when it comes to DACs. So keep that in mind, okay? The value that you're getting it, the money that you're paying for it has a lot to do as to whether the product is worth it or not. Your opinion of the new Borresen's affordable $13,000 floor standing speakers. But I know Greg Weaver just reviewed them. He loves them. He thinks it's one of the best speakers he's heard for the money. I'm going to say that for $13K, that's a very, very, very impressive speaker. Okay. If you're looking to spend that kind of money, I would absolutely look into that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say that I like more of the affordable Borresen offers than the more expensive Borresen offers. So I don't know if that helps you in answering your question, but I will say for $13K, that speaker is definitely in contention as one of the best offerings at that price point. I know there might be other brands that you are considering, and you should definitely get out there to hear different brands, but that Borresen should not be overlooked for $13K. And I'm going to tell you this, I have a feeling that speaker is going to go up to $20,000 in probably the next 12 months because everything is going up. So if you can snatch it for $13K, assuming you heard it, pull the trigger, man. Don't look back. If I don't want to budget for a strum tank, do you still recommend Shonyata for the component-to-component isolation? Drastic improvement. So I still recommend a power conditioner no matter what. I still believe that you need to work on your power. I don't believe there is a system that performs at its best when you haven't paid attention to your power. You haven't done any dedicated outlets. You're using the same outlet where you plug in your iron to iron your clothes, where you connect your microwave, where you connect your TV. To me, if you're doing that, you have no idea what you're doing. Personal opinion. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but if you're home right now watching me and you are plugged into the same outlet where your microwave or your television or your VCR or Blu-ray player are connected, meaning in the wall outlet, and you're using a cheap Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever hardware store you have near you, depending on which part of the world you're in, and you're using a freaking splitter to connect all your components, shame on you. Shame on you. Don't let me see that. I'll make fun of you. Don't let me see that, okay? Everyone here that's watching me, that's either trying to improve their system or that's trying to elevate the performance needs to know dedicated outlets, people. Dedicated outlets are a must. Now, if you live in a situation in which you cannot put dedicated outlets because you're renting, you're in an apartment that doesn't belong to you, then you need to get out there and figure out how you can afford a storm tank. That's going to eliminate the need for dedicated outlets or any other power conditioner. It doesn't matter the brand, but you need to make sure your power is better than just using crappy extension cords. I mean, this is actually one of the biggest pain points for me, is to hear that people are utilizing extension cords, crappy splitters, and they think that's going to be as good as if you had a dedicated unit powering your system. No, folks, doesn't work that way. You got to improve your power. It matters. Everything matters when you're doing this. Everything. And power is no different. Which speaker will be better for Gryphon Essence? Magico S3 or Focal Maestro Evo? I am going to say from those two, I'm going to say the Maestro Evo. I think the Maestro Evo is above the performance of the S3, unless we're talking the S3 MK3. I have not heard the S3 MK3. I do not know what it sounds like. I keep hearing it's great. But if you're talking S3 MK2, I would take the Maestro all day, every day. The Maestro Evo, to be specific, all day, every day. The Maestro Evo is, number one, is almost twice the money than the S3 MK2 was. Number two, it throws an enormous soundstage, incredible dynamics, huge bass. I mean, it's just a much better speaker, okay? But the Maestro will suck power like it's just so thirsty for power. It's one of those speakers in the Focal lineup, in my opinion, that is the most difficult load I have ever seen out of the entire Focal lineup, if I'm being honest here. So make sure that you eventually upgrade from an Essence to perhaps Essence Monos or the Antillean Evo, okay? Because let me tell you, if you have the Maestro Evo, power will pay you huge dividends with this speaker. And last but not least, make sure the Maestro Evo is out into the room. Please, it needs to be out into the room. Do not put it against the wall. Please, people, stop putting your loudspeakers against the wall. Another pain point besides power, besides the conversation that I just had with you about the importance of clean power. Stop putting your speakers against the wall behind them. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. You're spending $10, $20, $30, $40,000 in these systems, and you're putting the speakers against the wall because they look cool. They may look cool, but they sound like garbage against the wall. I don't need to be there to know this. I know they sound like crap in your house against the wall. I don't need to go and visit you. I can tell you that. And you know how? Because if I were to push those speakers out into the room and push your listening position back a couple of feet, bringing the speakers away from the wall and bringing you farther away from the speakers, I'm telling you, you wouldn't even recognize your system. You would not even recognize how much better your system would be. Hands down. So power, and stop putting your speakers against the wall. I repeat, this is dumb. This is a bad practice. I'm sweating here telling you this because I'm so passionate about this stuff, okay? It's dumb. Do not put your speakers against the wall behind them.